Hello and welcome to this new tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to connect Python to our CouchDB database. In order to do that, we're going to need two things. The first one is um, some application to run our Python code, and the second one will be a CouchDB database. In this case, I'm using a local host of CouchDB that is installed on my computer. You can use a remote one or local one, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to show both options. And also for Python, I'm using the PyCharm Community Edition. It's a very comfortable app to use for those options, and you can download it from PyCharm website. I'm recommending on that. So let's dive into the water. Let's create a new project. I'll give it a name, test, very simple one. I'll create it. Now I'm gonna add a new Python file. Give it again the name test. And now what I need to do is to import it. To import our Python package that we've installed, like we saw in the previous video that I've recorded. So let's just import it. Import CouchDB. Very simple. Okay. Now we need to connect to the server. So I've showed you that I'm running the local host. I'm running the CouchDB database on the local host, and so let's see how we use it on the local host and how we use it on a remote one. I'm creating a new instance. I'm calling it couch equals to CouchDB. That's the package that we've imported over here. Dot server, and in here I'm gonna give the server address. In my case, localhost, and it's using port 5984. Okay, 5984, 5984. That's a default port that it's using when you install it on your local computer. And if I'm using a remote one, a remote server, all I need to give is the server address. So let's say it's sitting on this generic name that I'm using over here. Uh, that's how you use it. I've put in here the server name. It's a remote one. Okay, no problem. Let's give the remote server name. But if I'm using, you can see that I'm not doing any authentication, not to the local and not for the remote. But if I have a username and password, um, either to the local or to the remote, what I need to do is to add before the server name the username, like I'm doing over here, and then use column and the password and use the @ sign. So that's an example for local, but you can do exactly the same for the remote. Okay, that's all you need to do. Okay, so in our example, I don't need the remote and I'm not using any username or password. I'll just use the localhost address, and that will be it. Now we need to do one of two options. Um, if I have a database, an existing one, um, I need to connect to it. But if I don't have any database on, I mean any table on the database on the server, I need to create one. So in our example, you can see that I have those four databases, and those are the four default databases. So I need to create one. I can create it from here and type the name as I would like, but I want to do that from Python. So in order to do that, I need to create an instance. Sorry, I'll say db, and then use the couch instance that I've created over here, and the create function, and then give the database name. So let's say db test, and that will be our database name that we're gonna create. If you're using an existing one, what you need to do is db equals, instead of this line, to write db equals, again, couch, and just, sorry, set the name. If it was db test, set the name of the database like I'm doing over here, and this is for an existing server. So let's continue with our example. I want to create a database, and in order to create a database, I'm using this line, and now what I need to do is to um, save a document to the database. So let's create a new instance. Let's call it doc. Okay, and in this doc, we're gonna open a curly brackets, and in here I can give um, anything that I would like. For example, ID, column, this random number, and then let's say content, and let's open another curly brackets. Let's say a person, sorry, name, and I'll say, I don't know, Python dude, and give him an email address. It would be pdude at python-couchdb.com. A random one that I picked only for this example, and that's it. And now let's save it to our database, to the one that we've created. In order to do that, we'll use db, which is the database that we've created, and the function will be save, and what we need to save is the doc that we've created. That's all. Now let's run this test. I'm running it. Boom. That's it. Let's check it out. We refresh this database, and there you go. We have db test. That's our new database. It has one document inside of it. This is the database size at the moment. Let's click on it and see the document that we've created. This is the document that we've created. Let's check it out. You see, we have ID, this random number, and we have content, this person name, and its email. That's all. And now let's see how we can create a new document for an existing database. Sorry, let's go back to Python, to PyCharm. So instead of using this create function, as I've mentioned, all we need to do is to use it like that, sorry, like that. And for the sake of things, let's change the ID, and the Python dude will be a CouchDB dude, and CDB dude. And let's save. Let's run it. That's it. Let's go back to our database. Sorry, let's go back and see that in here we have two documents. Click on it. This is the first one. This is the second one. Inside, we see the CouchDB dude. The first one was a Python dude, and that's it. That's basically all you need to do in order to connect to your database, to create or to create a new database or to use an existing one, to create a document, and to save it to the new database or to the existing one. Thank you. That will be all for this tutorial. Next tutorial will be published soon. Please don't hesitate to send your comments below and let me know if you have anything that you need me to explain again. Have a great day and thanks for watching.